That's nice, I like her.
Okay. How many of you have felt sad? How many of you have felt judged? How many of you have felt alone? How many of you have felt without strength, without home? How many of you have felt restricted, conflicted, and confined because there was not enough space, there was not enough time? How many of you have felt compressed, possessed by the stress that burdens your chest until you are convinced that you are alone? These restrictions soak up your skin, sucking you in until you are dry bones. What if I gave everyone a command to stand from their seats and you began to rise? And saw that no one else began to stand from their seats. Would this you despise and casually retreat? Instead of standing out to firmly believe against the lie we fuel as dual conformity. So we've all felt alone, judged, sad, without home, conflicted and confined. So why do we all hide? So why don't you stand from your seat? Why are you scanning the room to see if this task others will complete? Everyone is the same. Everyone has felt the same burden of loss and pain and shame. And when you stand from your seat, are you accepting the feeling of shame? Or are you accepting the feeling of gain and the difference of the faces that surround you in vain? Who we are and what we portray should live to envelop in the same dismay, in the same fabled gray haze. The air we exhale onto others is so thick we can see it blinding our eyes. We breathe in the same fumes because that is the life that we have compromised. We are the reason we are forcing ourselves to behave like slaves and obey what we are fighting to believe is our world's ways. That's only what we have constructed, what we have conducted, the fountain of imagination we have corrupted to become perfected by those who feed off of the flaws that they have inspected. So how many of you have felt judged? How many of you have felt sad? How many of you have felt alone? How many of you have felt without strength, without home? No reason to glide a label instead of a helping hand. There's no reason to live by the principles by which we eat up like stale sand. There's no reason to remain in your seat. There's no reason to lean back and surrender to defeat. We create the world and we create our land. There's no reason to sit, only reason to take a stand.